welcome to the class. Glad to have you on board. We've been at it for about 2 weeks now. I really appreciated the PowerPoint presentations that each of you developed and shared with the class. That's a great way, I think, for us to be able to create this culture of learning, this community of scholars, if you will, that we are going to interact with throughout the next 15 weeks or so as we move through the course of the rest of the semester. I apologize for some confusion that we've had this week as it relates to this week's discussion. I posted a forum, but I didn't really assign a topic, and that was the problem with that. So that topic is now available for you to utilize to go through your first real discussion, if you will, in week 2. The textbooks that we're going to be relying on. I know some of you have emailed me and had some problems with acquiring some of this, but this is the Caffarella book, Planning Programs for Adult Learners. That's very much a practitioner's guide that we will glean on, and then this is our additional text, this Adult and Continuing Education text by Castworm. We use this quite a bit, and we also have a third text that we rely on is this small book, What the Best College Teachers Do by Bain. So you'll see the way the weeks are laid out in the context section of our course that we'll have multiple readings each week. And then we'll have worksheets that support those chapters and the development of your program plan, which is the capstone project for the course, where you actually develop a plan of instruction that is focused on working with adults. And there'll be more information to come about the program plan as the semester progresses. But for this particular week, what we're really looking at is just thinking about adult education. How does it work? Who is responsible for that? What are the roles that they play? We're going to find that many of us have probably been in the role of a program planner or been responsible for adult learning, but perhaps haven't really thought about all of those different variables that come into play when we have to plan that and eventually implement that learning. And then also thinking about what's the impact of that learning, what's the follow-up, what is the transfer, if you will, of that particular topic, that information that you were sharing with those adults, and what variables needed to be in place as we plan for and eventually try to implement that particular learning. So as we go through the course of the semester, that's really our task, is to think about all those different variables in the context of this model that we're going to look at in more detail beginning next week. So we'll start talking about this model for adult education, how it should be implemented, what it involves, and what it includes will be the topic of our discussion as we move forward in the next week or so. So for this week, you should have a worksheet that you will put into the Dropbox. There is also a place there for you to have this first discussion. The first discussion really just focuses on you kind of reflecting on your experiences with adult education and thinking about what was the result of that experience, what particular type of change, if any, was affected as you went through that experience, and then how much transfer took place during the course of that or after that particular learning episode. So that's how we're going to kick off our discussion this week, and that question has been posted there, and I apologize. I know it was tardy in getting it up on the discussion board. We'll work on that and get that done in a more timely fashion in the weeks to come. So look at that question, think about your experiences with adult education, share your thoughts with that in the context of our question, get your worksheet done. If you have not received your Caffarella book or your Castworm book, and you have not, so you're having difficulty getting your actual worksheet completed, I have copied chapter 1 of Caffarella, and I will put it on D2L, so that'll be accessible to you. The majority of the worksheet is based on the Caffarella book. And then if you have not received your Castworm book, then please just let me know, and I will send you that chapter individually. That's a little more there than perhaps I need to copy or want to share at this point. But if there's a need for it, just let me know, reach out to me, and I'll be glad to provide that for you. And we're not going to be too strict, if you will, on the deadlines this week for the worksheets or the discussion, because we've had some things that have happened this week here in Stillwater that have precluded me from getting that up there in a timely fashion. And some of you, I know, are worried about having your textbooks in hand. So this is what we're transitioning. We're just kind of getting started, getting the kinks worked out, and as we move forward, we'll get this thing running as smoothly as we possibly can. And look forward to interacting with you online. And if anyone wants to have a one-on-one or needs to visit and prefers a face-to-face format, feel free to Skype me if that's your preferred preference, or if you're in a situation where Skype is the best way to do that, feel free to send me an email. My phone information is available in the syllabi, so you can contact me multiple ways if you would like to have just a conversation or need some clarity, if you will, about the assignments or the expectations of the class. Okay? All right, well, it's Friday around here in Stillwater. That means it's Orange Friday. Big game going on this weekend down in Texas. We're excited about that. Looking forward to a 4-day weekend, if you will. We've got Labor Day holiday coming up here as well. So you guys be safe, enjoy this time, and look forward to seeing you virtually online in the weeks to come. All right. Take care.